Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on a really fascinating exploration. We're going way beyond the headlines. We're diving deep into Ukraine's incredibly vibrant and diverse regions, trying to uncover its rich cultural, historical, and, well, natural tapestry.
It's a huge undertaking.
It is our mission to basically distill the most important, the most intriguing nuggets of knowledge from this stack of research notes, articles, cultural records we've gathered for you. Think of it as a shortcut to being truly well-informed.
A very useful shortcut.
Get ready for a journey through, distinct landscapes and traditions. We found some surprising facts, and I think it's going to be a truly engaging conversation.
It absolutely is. And, understanding these unique identities of Ukraine's regions, it's just immensely valuable. It reveals so much more than just geography.
Right.
By exploring these characteristics, you, the listener, will gain a much deeper appreciation for the country's profound resilience, its heritage, and its truly multifaceted spirit.
Like a mosaic, you said.
Exactly. It's like discovering the individual threads that weave together this stunning, complex picture.
Okay, let's unpack this mosaic then. We should start where the air is crisp, I imagine, and the mountains whisper ancient tales. The Carpathians.
A perfect place to begin.
Here you find these distinct Highlander identities, most famously the Hutsuls, right?
The Hutsuls, and their neighbors too, the Boykos and Lemkos, each with their own nuances.
And what strikes me immediately about them is how deeply their crafts are tied to their life. Things like intricate wood carving, that gleaming brasswork, the warm Lisnik wool rugs.
Right.
It all seems connected to their pastoral life on those alpine meadows, the Polonina.
Absolutely. It's born from the environment. And what's striking is how these traditions, like crafting those wool rugs or even signaling with the trombita, they aren't just decorative.
No.
They're survival tools, really. Deeply integrated into the rhythm of their, let's face it, challenging mountain life. It really shows how the landscape itself shapes identity.
That makes sense. Tell me more about the trombita.
The trombita. It's this iconic, long wooden alpine horn. It isn't just an instrument. It's a vital communication tool.
For what kind of things?
Oh, everything. Weddings, funerals, just the daily rhythms of shepherd life, calling across the valleys. Its sound carries for kilometers.
Wow.
And those hearth words you mentioned. Polonina for the meadow, Vatra for the bonfire, Koliba for a shepherd's hut. They're not just words. They are anchors of their very way of life. They reflect that deep, deep connection.
That really paints a picture, a culture forged by its environment. And speaking of deep roots, the Carpathians also hold this powerful historical figure, Alexa Dovebush.
Yes, Dovebush, early 18th century.
An outlaw folk hero leading the Carpathian Oprishki, sort of bandit insurgents.
That's the idea.
When I hear that, I immediately think, well, Ukraine's own Robin Hood, a symbol for rebellion.
I absolutely is. And that's a great way to put it because Dovebush isn't just in the history books. He's a living symbol, resonates deeply, always embodying that fight for freedom, for independence.
And that spirit seems to run through the region's history, too.
It really does. You see it in moments like the brief independence of Carpatho-Ukraine, Transcarpathia in 1939, right before the Hungarian occupation.
Brief, but significant.
Very. And even during and after World War II, the UPA guerrillas, the Ukrainian Insurgent Army, they operated in these highlands. It was the Carpathian military district known as Hoverlia.
And there's that observatory, too, right? The White Elephant?
Pip Ivan, yes, the observatory atop Kornahora Ridge. Built in 38, it fell into disrepair, but now it's been restored as a shelter. It's become another powerful symbol up there.
So history isn't just past tense here. It feels very present.
Exactly. And nowhere more so than in their traditions, especially holidays.
Right. You mentioned Christmas caroling, Kolyada, in villages like Krivorivnia.
Very famous for it. Then there's Malanka, the old New Year carnivals, kind of on the fringe of the Carpathians.
Yeah.
And elaborate Hutsul wedding rites.
And the bonfires, the Polonitska Vatra, the Shepherd's Bonfire.
Especially celebrated at cheese festivals.
Bruh.
And don't forget the Arkin.
The dance.
Yes. A men's circle dance, performed around a bonfire. It's powerful, visually and culturally.
It sounds incredible, and the music must reflect all this.
It absolutely does. Hutsul folk music really captures the landscape and spirit. You hear that iconic trombita, of course, but also the selpilka, that's a type of fife, the duda, which is a bagpipe, and the cymbali, a dulcimer.
A unique mountain sound.
Truly unique, and famously captured in the film score for Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors.
Oh, the 1965 classic. Set and shot right there.
Exactly. The composer, Miroslav Skorik, brilliantly blended Hutsul folk motifs with modernism. It brought that sound to a wider audience.
And it's amazing how that traditional sound keeps finding new life. Modern artists take those Carpathian timbres, those sounds, and bring them global, don't they?
They really do. Look at Ruslana, Eurovision winner, 2004. Wild Dances. She had trimbatas right there on stage.
I remember that. Very striking.
And then you have groups like Daka Braka with their ethno-chaos style and Onuka. They both seamlessly weave Carpathian sounds into really contemporary sets. It's how the culture stays alive, evolves.
And that deep connection, it extends to the food, too, I assume.
Oh, definitely. The mountain staple is banach, or banush.
Hmm.
It's cornmeal simmered in sour cream.
Sounds hearty.
It is, often served with brinza, that's the local sheep cheese, and shkvarki, which are cracklings.
Okay.
And what's fascinating is that Hutzel brinza, the cheese, it actually has a protected geographical indication.
Really? Like champagne or Parmesan?
Sort of, yeah. It's celebrated every year at the Rakiev Brinza Festival, complete with a ceremonial Polonenska Vatra, that bonfire.
Amazing. Any other regional specialties?
Well, if you go towards Transcarpathia, you'll find a hearty goulash-style stew called bogrash, and excellent local wines and some pretty potent plum brandies.
The visual identity, the clothing is just as strong, isn't it? Instantly recognizable.
Very much so. Rich imagery. You have the kepter or kiptar.
The ornate sheepskin vest.
That's the one. And the chrysania, a distinctive felt hat. Postelli, their traditional leather shoes.
Yes.
Heavy wool, huni cloaks for the weather, and these broad shares belts.
You can really picture it, like a living history book.
And all of this is shaped by the natural world around them. The Carpathians have these incredible primeval beech forests, UNESCO World Heritage status. Ukraine's parts include Kornahora, and these forests are teeming with wildlife. Brown bear, wolf, lynx, wildcat. Even the Carpathian chamois.
So important conservation areas, too.
Huge. Like the Carpathian Biosphere Reserve, over 58,000 hectares, and Sinevir, the largest lake in the Ukrainian Carpathians, also a Ramsar site for its wetlands. It's a genuinely pristine wilderness in many parts.
So going back to Dovbush for a second, how does a figure like that still resonate today in pop culture, and what's the broader visual identity the region projects?
That's a great question. Dovbush, he's not just history, he lives on.
Yeah.
In legends, films, hiking trails are named after him. There are rock sites. He's still this powerful metaphor for freedom versus empire. And visually, that film, Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors, it really made Hutzel visuals iconic worldwide. The kepters, the trembitas, those unique wedding rituals, people saw them.
It put them on the map, visually.
Absolutely. And beyond film, groups like Daka Braka and Daka Daughters, they've popularized this unique folk theater aesthetic. You know, the towering hats, the beads, they bring that distinct Carpathian vibe to global stages.
It's quite a look. And geographically, the region is defined by those peaks and waters.
Hoverla, Ukraine's highest peak, yes, 2,061 meters, part of the Kornahora Ridge.
Which also has Pipaivan with the observatory.
Correct. And beyond Lake Sinevir, you have the dramatic Dovbush rocks near Bubnish and the Shepit waterfall near Pilipets. Lots of natural landmarks.
And the architecture, those wooden churches, the circus.
Ah, yes. The UNESCO-listed Carpathian wooden circus, they're incredible. Log-built, often Greek Catholic or Orthodox, with those distinctive onion-domed silhouettes often covered in wooden shingles. Just beautiful.
So if someone wanted to experience this, where would they go?
Well, there are resort hubs like Bukovel, which is a major ski resort now.
Yeah.
Yaremchi has its Proby waterfall and a very lively market vibe. And then Verkhovina and Rakiev are really the heartland's true Hutzel culture centers.
Got it. And the language itself is distinct.
Very. It has its own color. Hutzelisms, Rusinisms mixed in. Words like Polonina, Vatra, Kliba, they aren't just local terms. They're part of daily life, woven into the fabric. And sound words like trembita or arkan for the dance, brinza for the cheese, they become almost like refrain anchors for the culture.
Okay, let's shift gears and move westward. To Galicia, a very different feel you mentioned, a crossroads culture.
Exactly. Galicia or Halachina. It has deep medieval Russian roots, yes, but then long periods under Polish-Lithuanian rule and, crucially, the Habsburg Empire, plus a strong Greek Catholic or Uniate tradition.
And the name itself, Halicina.
It ties back to the medieval kingdom of Galicia-Volhynia. Fivi actually became its capital in the late 13th century.
And Liviz are really the heart of Galicia's heritage today, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Its historic center is remarkably intact. Medieval, Baroque. The multi-confessional quarters reflecting centuries of different communities living together, Polish, Jewish, Armenian, Ukrainian.
Right.
And, of course, its famous coffeehouse culture. All of that together is why it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a city that just breathes history. You feel it in the cobblestones.
It really does sound like it, and it seems like the Habsburg era, in particular, really shaped the Lviv we recognize.
Immensely. The Habsburg period, when it was the crown land of Galicia from 1772 to 1918, that era left behind railways, grand opera houses, schools. It truly transformed Lviv into a major Central European cultural hub.
That Austrian Lviv image.
Precisely. But it's also important to remember the 20th century brought huge upheavals. World War I, World War II, constantly shifting borders.
Right.
That's deeply ingrained in the memory culture of the region, too. It creates a very complex, layered identity. Needs sensitive handling, of course.
Understood. And the traditions here, still very much alive.
Oh, yes. Lviv's open-air folk museums, like Shevchenkivsky High, are fantastic. They stage seasonal rites, Easter Hifki songs and dances, harvest fairs, Christmas caroling. It lets you step back in time.
Sounds immersive. And you mentioned salt in Drobich.
Yes. Drobich has these ancient salt works. They've been boiling salt from brine there for centuries. Centuries. It's this tangible link to the past, and artisan craft still active today. Quite something.
Incredible. What about the music in Galicia? Does it differ much from the Carpathians?
Well, you still find village polyphony, and there's definitely a Carpathian color because the Hutsul, Boyko, and Lemko zones are neighbors.
Okay.
But it has its own character, too. Those wooden church soundscapes, they pair beautifully with instruments like the bandura, the violin, the sopilka. And then you have the Lviv Opera.
A grand building.
Built between 1897 and 1900. A real symbol of that late Habsburg cultural boom. Think gold and velvet, that kind of grandeur.
And the food. What's on the Galician table?
It's often described as a four-step table, but with these interesting Habsburg Galician twists. Of course, you'll find borscht, now UNESCO listed as heritage of Ukraine's cuisine, remember?
Right. Important clarification.
And vareniki, naturally. Poppy pastries are big. But Lviv is especially famous for its cafe culture, wonderful desserts, and strong coffee traditions.
Coffee houses are key there.
Absolutely central. And regional staples include things like mushrooms, buckwheat, river fish, and that Drohobych salt often appears as a proud local ingredient.
How about clothing? Does it reflect that mix of influence?
It does. See this urban Halicina town costume, particularly from the interwar period? It cleverly blended peasant motifs with a sort of city polish, a real mix of rural and urban sophistication.
Interesting.
And of course, in the uplands closer to the mountains, you'll still find the traditional Boyko and Hutsul ensembles, rich with embroidery and those characteristic vests.
And the nature. Still mountainous.
You have the Skol Beskids and the Carpathian foothills, beautiful beach and fir forests, home to raptors, large mammals. There are protected areas preserving these primeval stands. You get that imagery of beach cathedrals, mist hanging on the spruce trees. Very atmospheric.
It sounds it. What about the cultural vibe, especially in Lviv?
Well, Lviv has this strong literary and cafe tradition. And those layered identities we talked about, the Ukrainian, Polish, Jewish, Armenian quarters existing side by side for centuries. It creates this vibrant sense of multilingual street scenes, a very distinct, bookish, cobbled vibe, if you know what I mean.
I think I do. And the landmarks. Lviv's historic center is UNESCO, you said.
Yes, including Market Square Reinach, the Armenian Quarter, the Latin Cathedral, High Castle Hill, though, as you noted, High Castle Hill is under heightened protection during the war.
Important context.
And throughout the wider Carpathian region in Galicia, you also find those incredible wooden circus, the churches. 16th to 19th century, log-built, Greek Catholic Orthodox with those shingle domes. Plus the Drohobych salt works, still using medieval techniques. In spa towns, old rail stations, Habsburg-era building facades, lots of architectural interest.
And the language reflects this crossroads nature, too.
Definitely. It's southwestern Ukrainian, the Halicina dialect, and it's peppered with loanwords from Polish and German from centuries of interaction. City slang often mixes Ukrainian with those historic cosmopolitan echoes.
Any specific phrases?
You might hear things like Lehendarna Halicina, legendary Galicia, or Kaviarna for cafe, and civic calls like Royal Akishop Baudes, glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes, are widespread, of course. Plus city pride tags like Oyu Ayaz, Ahid Maliv, City of Lions.
Okay, let's journey slightly east now to Volhynia. This region seems to embody a different landscape identity, forest steppe Policia.
That's right. Think peat bogs, winding rivers like the Pripyat and Stokid, lots of wooden villages, and lifeways really adapted to the wetlands. It's a different feel altogether.
But still historically significant. I see notes about Lutsk Castle and Ostro Academy.
Hugely significant.
Yeah.
Lubart's Castle is this magnificent 14th century fortress. Really impressive. An Austro Academy, founded way back in 1576. It's recognized as the first higher education institution in the entire East Slavic world.
Wow, the first. That's quite a claim to fame.
It is. So yes, it's a place where history and nature feel profoundly intertwined.
Trace the history for us a bit.
Well, it goes back to the Rosas Principalities.
Yeah.
Then it was a core part of that powerful medieval kingdom of Galicia-Volhynia we mentioned earlier.
Right.
Later came Lithuanian and Polish rule. Lubart, who the castle in Lutsk is named after, was actually the last ruler of a united Galicia-Volhynia.
Okay. And there's a difficult 20th century history here, too.
Yes, unfortunately. The WWII Volhynia massacres of Polish civilians are a major memory site. It's a traumatic past. There have been recent Ukrainian-Polish steps toward exhumations and reconciliation, which are vital for confronting this history, but it requires very sensitive handling.
Understood. But traditions are alive and well today. I see a note about a night in Lutz Castle.
Oh yes, it's a popular summer medieval art festival. They have tours, night shows, crafts, music. The castle actually hosts events all year round, so it's a real help.
Sounds fun. And donuts, like Svitяз's Donut Festival.
Yeah, yes. A more recent but delightful tradition at the Shatsk Lakes. This local pastry, the donut, was just added to Volin's intangible heritage list in 2024.
That's brilliant. Local pride in a pastry.
Exactly. And you also find ancient forest crafts like Polician beekeeping or deep veau, sometimes using wild hives and very rich weaving traditions passed down through generations.
What about music from Volhynia?
There's the Volyn State Academic Folk Choir based in Lutsk, established in 78. They're known for dynamic dances and a really rich song repertoire.
And the sound.
The regional sound palette often includes instruments like the bandura or kobza, the sopilka flute, violin. You hear choral folk music too, often with a distinct Polesian color, reflecting that landscape. It evokes the forests and lakes.
And the food reflects that forest and field environment.
Definitely. You'll find delicious Duroni potato pancakes, lots of mushrooms and berries from the forests, freshwater fish from the lakes and rivers. They have their own Volyn and Polish variants of borsch too.
And the donuts, of course.
Can't forget the donuts. Or pampushki, as they're often called, especially from Shatsk. And the Lake Svitjaz fish is famous. Pairing that with the newly recognized Svitjaz donut heritage element, it's a fun culinary hook.
It really is. What about the traditional clothing in Volhynia?
It's quite distinct. Often linen shirts, sorochka, finikersekka, which are like waistcoats. Striped skirts are common. The embroidery often features distinctive red and black patterns. And you see beautiful headwear, like the namitka or ochipak, and long outer coats called svita, visually rich.
And the nature sounds spectacular. Shatsk National Nature Park.
Incredible place. Includes the Shatsk Lakes, like the famous Lake Svitjaz. There are 23 lakes in total. It's a haven for over 75 water bird species, a really vital migration stopover. It's a Ramsar site because of its wetland importance.
An ecological marvel.
Truly. And there's also the Pripyat-Stokid National Nature Park, home to over 800 higher plant species, 220 vertebrate species, lots of bogs, oxbow lakes. You can picture cranes, otters, misty mornings over the peatlands. Almost primordial feeling.
Amazing. And in terms of more modern landmarks or pop culture?
Well, the revival of Austro Academy is hugely symbolic, represents continuity in learning, the enduring power of education. And then there's the Tunnel of Love near Kleven.
Ah, yes, I've seen pictures. The Green Railway Arch.
That's the one. It's become a global photo icon, purely through social media, really. And the basalt columns at Basaltov are another striking natural feature, almost like natural sculptures, very visual.
So key places to know. Lutsk for Lubart's Castle and museums.
Right. Rivne and Kleven for the Tunnel of Love. The Shatsk Lakes, including Svitjaz, which is surprisingly deep, up to 58 meters.
Wow.
Ostro for the castle and the academy. And near Kostopil, those basalt columns and the blue lakes.
And the language, is it standard Ukrainian?
It spans northwestern Ukrainian dialects, often with Polician features mixed in, but many standard Ukrainian terms for clothing like oshipak, namitka, svita, or food like haluchki and deruni are commonly used and understood here.
And the national call.
Yes, yeah, yushost is prevalent, like elsewhere. And you get place pride anchors, too. People might mention ahongosas, ketras, kasos. Together.
Okay, now let's turn our attention to the very heart of the nation, Kyiv and central Ukraine.
The capital region. Kyiv itself is seen as the cradle of East Slavic Christianity and culture, a real anchor.
Symbolized by?
By monumental sites like St. Sophia Cathedral and the Kyiv-Petrsk Lavra Monastery Complex. Both are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And tragically, both are currently on the World Heritage and Danger List because of the war.
A stark reminder.
It really is. This region is also the birthplace of the bandura and the Kobzar minstrel tradition.
The epic singers.
Yes, singing epic poems called dumi, accompanying themselves on the kobza or bandura, which is a plucked lute zither-type instrument. Today's concert banduras trace their lineage directly back to the Kiev and Kharkiv schools, a living heritage.
Fascinating. And there's a specific type of painting from here, too.
Pachakivka decorative painting from the Dnipro area, not far from Kyiv. It's this vibrant, floral folk art style. You often see it used in crafts and at festivals in Kyiv. It's also inscribed by UNESCO for its unique tradition and beauty.
History feels very layered here, too. The Golden Gate.
A powerful symbol of medieval Kyiv, yes. Built originally in the early 11th century, it was reconstructed beautifully in 1982.
And much more recently, Maidan.
Independence Square, Maidan Nezalezhnosti, the absolute center of the Maidan, or Euromaidan, the revolution of dignity protests, late 2013 to early 2014, a truly pivotal moment in modern Ukrainian history.
And the war's impact is visible on heritage sites.
It is. St. Sophia listed in danger in 2023, reports of damage in 2025. And even the shield of the iconic Motherland Monument was updated in 2023, replacing the Soviet hammer and sickle with the Ukrainian trident, a very visible change.
Right. And historically, there was a major battle here, too.
The Battle of Poltava, 1709, a decisive battle in the Great Northern War between Sweden and Russia, happened right here in this central region. It's a region that has witnessed and continues to witness profound historical shifts.
Yet, through all that, popular traditions endure.
Absolutely. Ivana Kupala, the midsummer celebration, is widely marked near Kiev. People make wreaths, vina, jump over bonfires, often near the Dnipro River, connects people to ancient rituals.
And the Sorochintsy Fair?
Ah, yes, in the Poltava region. Late August. It's a huge national craft fair, famous for embroidery, ceramics, a real showcase. And in Kyiv itself, Andriivsky Descent, that steep cobbled street.
The craft street.
Exact. Famous for its street fairs, art stalls, and the unique Museum of One Street, a very atmospheric part of the city.
What's the music scene like in Kyiv? Modern and traditional.
Very dynamic. You have the traditional dummy, those epic ballads. And folk dances like the Kolomishka or Arkin styles are often adapted into modern electro-folk or ethno-chaos scenes. A lot of that emerges from Kyiv's theaters and music studios.
And classical.
Oh, yes. The National Opera of Ukraine, established way back in 1867, is a flagship institution. Represents that classical excellence. The musical palette includes the bandura, kobza, sopilka, and even the trombita, which you find used nationwide now, showing how sounds travel.
And the food. Borscht is central, you mentioned.
Absolutely central. Remember, borscht culture itself is UNESCO-listed intangible heritage for Ukraine, and Kyiv has its own specific icon. The Kyiv cake. Kyivsky tort.
The meringue one.
That's the one. Buttercream and meringue layers, often with nuts. A classic since 1956. And Poltava is famous for halushki dumplings. So iconic, there's even a monument to halushki there.
A monument to dumplings. I love it.
And for a quick, classic Kyiv street food bite, you have to try Kyivsa perpichka. It's basically a sausage deep-fried in dough, a local institution.
Sounds interesting. How about clothing? The vyshervanka.
The embroidered shirt, yes. A powerful national symbol, very visible here. The Poltava regional style is often particularly delicate, sometimes white-on-white embroidery, or using subtle pastel floral motifs. Very elegant.
And the wreaths, the vinik.
Yes, especially for festivals like Ivana Kupala. A beautiful traditional accessory.
What about nature in this central region? It's not all city, is it?
Not at all. It's mainly forest-steppe biome, especially along the big rivers, the Dnipro and the Desna. And even right within Kyiv's city limits, you have Holosivsky National Nature Park.
A park inside the city.
Yes. And it's surprisingly biodiverse. Over 650 vascular plant species, around 181 vertebrate species, bats, otters, rare raptors living among ancient oak trees, an urban oasis. And further south, along the Dnipro, there's the Kaniv Nature Reserve, which incorporates Taras Hill, where the national poet Taras Shevchenko is buried. It beautifully blends landscape and cultural heritage.
Speaking of Shevchenko, he's obviously a huge figure.
The national poet, yes, buried at Kaniv, a foundational figure. And Mykola Hohol, or Nikolai Gogol as many know him, the writer, he was born in Veliki Sorochintsy, right there in the Poltava region.
In modern Kyiv, despite everything.
It remains a major hub for startups in IT. It's a top national ecosystem for tech, with multi-billion-dollar IT exports even during the war. It's a city that constantly innovates while deeply honoring its roots.
So landmarks to remember. St. Sophia, the Lavra, Maidan, Golden Gate.
St. Andrew's Church, perched atop Andreevsky Descent, the motherland statue with its new trident shield.
And language notes, the Kyiv spelling.
Yes, the hashtag Kyiv Not Kyiv campaign was very successful globally. It pushed for the Ukrainian transliteration, terms you'll hear, Kyanin or Kyanka for a Kyiv resident, man or woman, Dnipro, Uzviz for a descent like Andreevsky, Vinok, Alushki, and that powerful national salute.
Hey Raja, Hubaja, glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. You hear it everywhere.
Okay, finally, let's explore South Ukraine, a different identity again, port steppe.
Exactly. Shaped by the Black Sea coast, by shipbuilding hubs like Odessa, Mykolaiv, Kherson, by seaside trade, and especially by that unique multi-ethnic Odessa vibe.
And Odessa's historic center is also UNESCO.
Yes, inscribed in 2023, and also, unfortunately, listed immediately as in danger due to the war. Highlights the fragility and the threats.
The history here goes way back, doesn't it? Ancient Greece.
It does. You had the Greek colony of Olbia right on the southern Bug estuary near modern Ochakiv. That's ancient history right there on the coast.
And fortresses. The medieval and early modern Bilhrad and Ostrovsky fortress, also known as Ackerman, it still stands, guarding the Dniester estuary. Very impressive sight.
And in modern history, Odessa's Potemkin Stairs are famous.
World famous, largely thanks to Sergei Eisenstein's film Battleship Potemkin. Built in the mid-19th century, they became this global cinematic icon.
But the war has impacted Odessa severely, too.
Tragically, yes. The historic city center has suffered repeated damage from Russian strikes, including the main Transfiguration Cathedral, which was badly damaged, and then, of course, the catastrophic destruction of the Kakhovka Dam.
June 6, 2023.
A date etched in memory. It fundamentally reshaped the lower Dnipro River, caused immense flooding, ecological devastation, loss of life, long-term environmental consequences. A profound tragedy for the region and the country.
Just devastating. Yet traditions endure even in the face of such challenges. Humarina in Odessa.
Amazingly, yes.
Humarina,
Marina Odessa's April 1st Festival of Laughter and Satire. It's famous for its parades, street comedy, a real testament to the city's unique spirit and resilience.
and watermelons. Kherson watermelons.
Ah, the legendary Kherson watermelons, yes. A huge point of regional pride. They even have a protected geographical indication. There's all this lore about them being transported up the Dnipro River on barges to Kiev.
I've heard about them, almost like royalty among fruits.
They really are treated that way. It's amazing how a simple fruit can carry so much regional identity and symbolism, isn't it? Especially now, with Kherson having been occupied and liberated, the watermelon took on even greater meaning.
Absolutely, and the music reflects this southern coastal vibe.
It does. You have major institutions like the Odessa Opera, a stunning Viennese Baroque-style building from 1887. And the Odessa Philharmonic, its hall dates from 1899, the orchestra from 1937. Cultural pillars.
Festivals, too.
The Odessa Jazz Fest is a big one, usually held in September. It really captures the city's spirit blends. Seaport urban songs, you hear threads of klezmer music reflecting its Jewish heritage, jazz, folk. And even during the war, ensembles have kept performing, sometimes during air raids. A powerful symbol of resilience through art.
The food sounds amazing, too. The Odessa table.
Oh, it's a fantastic mix, reflecting its multicultural history.
Yeah.
You have forschmack, which is a delicious herring spread. Eggplant dishes like mother-in-law's tongue, fried gobies, a local Black Sea fish, and the market culture, especially at the famous Prevost market, is just legendary, so vibrant.
And the watermelons are everywhere in season.
Everywhere. You see huge mounds of Kherson watermelons across Ukraine in late summer, a real taste of the South.
Clothing styles here, still the Vyshyvanta.
Yes, the embroidered shirt is still a national anchor, maybe with regional steppe color palettes. But the port cities, Odessa, Mykolaiv, they also bring in more urban dress styles, maybe some naval influences too, reflects that maritime connection.
And the nature is unique here too, steppe reserves.
Yes, Askania Nova is incredible. It's the oldest steppe reserve in the world, protecting virgin feathergrass steppe. It also has introduced ungulates like Przewalski's horses, zebras, antelopes roaming semi-wild, plus a large arboretum. A truly unique place, though facing huge challenges due to proximity to conflict zones.
Wow. Other key nature spots.
The Black Sea Biosphere Reserve, spanning the coast near Kherson and Mykolaiv, including the tundra in Yarholik Bay, is vital for birds. The Danube Delta, partly in Odessa Oblast, is another UNESCO World Heritage and Biosphere site, famous for enormous bird migrations.
And the Pink Lake.
Lake Lemuria, part of the Sivash system of lagoons. It's known for its incredibly salty water and pinkish hue caused by algae. A surreal, stunning natural phenomenon. plus the whole lower Dnipro Delta wetlands, though now drastically altered by the dam destruction.
What really defines the character of this region, would you
And
say?
you know what? It's often the people. The imagery is strong. Sailors, shipwrights in Make Alive, the bustling market traders in Odessa, the comedians from Humorina, the musicians in the orchestras and choruses, they embody its spirit. And seeing things like naval cadets in Odessa continuing their training despite the war, that speaks volumes about resilience and commitment.
So key landmarks: Odessa's Deribasivska Street, the Potemkin Stairs, the Opera House, Primorsky Boulevard.
Right. Make Alive, the city of ships, with its historic shipyards and ongoing role in naval design. Kars, gateway to the Dnipro Delta and islands, and the watermelon capital. And don't forget the ancient sites Bilhorod-Nostrovsky Fortress, the Old Bia ruins near Ochakiv.
And the language. Still Ukrainian, but with echoes.
Exactly. Ukrainian is the state language, but you hear the legacy of the port city's multilingual past, in Odessa especially. Place names are key. Privoz Market, Poyjustugay the Basiska Street, Vodishofuk the Buribasikt Potemkin Stairs. And as we've heard throughout our journey, that national call and response, Uvyovo Lasha, resonates just as strongly here by the Black Sea.
And just like that, wow, we've covered so much ground. We have to bring this incredibly rich deep dive to a close. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the diverse, the multifaceted regions of Ukraine.
It's been a pleasure.
We've uncovered, I think, some fascinating cultural threads, witnessed remarkable historical resilience, explored vibrant traditions, hopefully offering a truly unique perspective. Our aim, as always, was to give you that shortcut to being well-informed, packed with memorable details. I really hope we delivered.
And perhaps something to think about as we finish. Having explored these unique cultural and historical tapestries, these distinct Ukrainian regions, what does this mosaic of identities tell us about the broader concept of national unity, especially, in the face of the ongoing global challenges Ukraine faces?
That's a powerful question. Definitely something to ponder.
Mm-hmm.
We encourage you, our listener, to continue exploring and discovering on your own. Until next time, stay curious, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.